Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. In this one we'll be making a new series on Django because this channel is more focused on web development for Python. So I'll be making Python tutorials whilst making Django tutorials for people who already know the basics of Python. So if you're here to learn Django, make sure to subscribe and like because it'll show me that you're the support and help. If you've got any questions, comment below. In this video, I will be working with the setup of Django, and that's pretty much it. So I've opened up Visual Studio Codes here. So we've got this open up. Let me just open up Google. Right, Django. Let that load. Alright, let's see what is right, Python Django. Well, it isn't here, so let's write Django documentation. Django documentation. So this is Django documentation where you could read up upon to find out new things about Django, Django 3.0. This is a good way to learn Django if you're not more of a video tutorial person. So the documentation for Django is great. You could search up whatever you need to search up. So let's just get started with the setup. So I've got VS Code loaded up. It has no files in this, so I'll just quickly make a file. Go to document coding, VS Code, YouTube, and I'll just make a new file called Django project. You can call it whatever you want, but make sure there's no spaces, and make sure try to limit the amount of capital letters you use, and then we'll do that. We'll close this. So let's just close out. We've got a empty file now, so let's get the terminal up, and there's a quick shortcut to get the terminal up by pressing Control and the apostrophe. You can create a new terminal by doing Control Shift apostrophe, but we only need one terminal. So what we need for this is something called pip. If we write pip here, it should show this. If it shows this, it means you have pip installed, but if it doesn't show this and it says something like an error, it means you need to install pip. So you'll need to go to a different tutorial to find how to install pip. These are the commands you can use to use with pip. Clear. Let me try pip. .v. No, there's nothing. So we need pip to install something, but let's do freeze right now. Let me write pip freeze. So what pip freeze does is it shows me all the packages and dependencies I've got on my system globally. I made a mistake here where I made all these packages and stuff globally, where it should have only been the only global packages you want is only the virtual environments and pipenv, because if you have the reason why we don't use global packages, let's say we have two different projects. Project number one uses Django globally and project number two uses a different version of Django. Well, let's say you download Django again globally, then the original Django gets overridden by the newer version, so it messes your packages up. So we need to make a virtual environment, and the way I'm gonna do it is by using well, I was gonna use pip freeze. So first we need to globally download pip freeze, otherwise we won't use it. So this is the only thing I suggest downloading globally, and that you do that by doing right pip install pip env. I mean pip env, not pip freeze. So pip install pip env, you enter that, and then it's gonna say this for me because I've already downloaded it, but it may take a bit of time for you. So if it does, just pause the video for now, come back once it's downloaded, and when that's done, you want to do pip env and see what comes up. If this comes up, it means it's successfully been downloaded, and it shows you all the commands you can do with it. We'll only focus in one command, and that is the shell command. So clear, and we do pip env shell. And now what this does is you can see here when the PowerShell, meaning it's the CMD Global. When we do this, it'll take us into a what do you call it? A virtual environment. This is gonna take a while for you. It's gonna take a while for me. So if mine finishes before yours, make sure to pause the video. So let's see what's really happening. Well, first of all, pip-env makes a pip file, and once you've installed a dependency, it gets saved in this pip file, and it gets saved in a pip file lock. Let these load. I'll explain. So let me clear this. We'll get back into this, and it says the version of Python it requires and the packages we have, since we have downloaded packages what you need. So let's try pip env run pip freeze. This is a different command. It's basically the same thing as pip freeze, but we're doing it inside pip env, and this outputs nothing because we haven't got any dependencies or packages downloaded, so it won't show anything because it's not global. So we've got everything set up. Now all we need to do is install Django. So we can do pip env install Django, and that's basically what you have to do. But we're gonna install a specific version, which is 2.2.7. You can work with the newer versions if you wish, but like just because there's some difference between the newer versions and this version I use, we'll just stick with this and let this download, and we'll come back when it's done. Alright, I'm back. That took a while for me, so let's read what happened. It installed Django 2.2.7 and it added to a pip file. We'll see that soon. Pip file not locked, so it create a pip file dot lock because it wasn't found, and it put it inside a virtual environment. So now we have two files. We have a pip file which is showing a Django version, and we have a pip file lock, which isn't really important for now. This ain't really important. We don't need it. We will need it, but we don't need to look at it. So let's do the same command with pip env run pip freeze. Run this, and it should come up here. Although we didn't download PyTZ and SQL Pass, Django automatically downloads these two dependencies because it comes with Django automatically. So now we've got these three dependencies with Django, we can start making a Django project. So let's clear. So how we make a Django file, we start off in the command line, we write Django admin, we start project, and then this is going to be the file name. So we're going to just write, we're going to make in this series, we'll be making a fruit shop, so basically a e-commerce, but we won't include any of the credit card handling stuff or the sign in, just display. So we'll do my shop. We'll do my shop. We no need to capitalize it. We could do an enter here, I'm gonna enter it here and show you what happens. So we go to Python project. Now we've got my shop, but we've got my shop inside of my shop, and we've got some files. We don't really want this because it creates some confusion, because we rather have this file alongside with this manage.py file. I'll explain what these files do. So how we can fix that is, let's just delete this my shop. We'll clear this. We'll do the same command, but instead of finishing it, we'll do a space and then a full stop, and then enter it. We'll clear, and now we've got my shop, and we've got all the files with my shop, and manage.py is in the base, the root with the pip file and the pip rock. So we'll explain what these four files does, and then we'll explain what this manage.py file does. This is an important file for the command line. So init.py, we never use this, so you don't have to worry about this. Setting.py is really important because it's where your whole Django project gets set up. So this is a really important place not to mess up. So we are using, it tells you the version, and then it gives you a secret key. This secret key is important for your application to run, because without a secret, let me check if it's running. Yeah, without a secret key, it means there won't be any access to your website. We also have a base there. We'll explain what that does later. And debug is true. I won't go in much in this, but what debug means is it tells you if there's an error with your website. It tells you where the error is, but when you've published your website online, so when you've deployed it, you want debug to be false. We've got install apps. We'll explain what apps does. Middleware, we don't touch middleware right now. Templates, we'll explain what templates does. And Whiskey is something for deploying your app. Database, we'll be using the MySQL, it's not there, but we'll be using the MySQLite database, I mean SQLite 3, and these are just your time zone. You can change this time zone if you're in a different country, but you can keep it UTS for now. I think for me it's UTS +1, but I'll keep it like that for now. So the URL.py, this is, oh yeah, one more thing. If you get these squiggly lines yellow in and it says unresolved import, well, we can fix that by pressing, we can go to view command palette, we can select an interpreter and then let that load, and in here we write Django project, Go project, and we look for the Django project with, we click that, and then these squiggly lines should disappear. It's just to do with your virtual environment. So this URL.py, so this is where we route the URL. So let's just go to YouTube, actually not YouTube, we'll go to Bootstrap. So this is the home URL. If we go to themes, actually no, that's probably not a good idea. Good example. If you go to documentation, this is tag along URL where it takes you to this specific location. That's basically what we're doing in here. So if we do path, let's say home, and then we'll continue it with what we need to continue with. I'll explain it. And then we got the last file. I'll install this because our purpose it's gonna come back, it's gonna come with that message every couple of minutes. This is installing the virtual environment for me automatically, although it's in the Python direct terminal. So whiskey.py, we don't touch this unless we deploy the project, so this file you don't need to worry about. And the manage.py is a really important file. We don't edit this file at all. This file helps us write in the terminal, because remember when we did Django admin, well, we don't need to use Django admin anymore, because now we need to use Python manage.py and then a command. So what Python manage.py does is basically it goes to this manage.py this file, and we can run any Django commands here. So we need to run one more command and start app, and we need to call this app a name. So we'll call it store. We can call it home or store. We'll call it home. Call it home. So this is gonna be the home page. We'll clear now. We've got a new app. So let me explain the difference between a project and an app. So a first of all, you can see a app has more files. We'll cover that soon. But a project, basically, a project is you only have one project file in the whole folder, but you can have multiple apps in the folder, and each app links to a project. So let's say Facebook, Amazon. So Amazon has a home app, which only handles everything to do with home, but Amazon also has a car app and a e-commerce for like buying stuff app, and a contactors app. So basically it's different areas of a website. We call it an app, and we join them all together in one solid website by going to URLs and whatnot with this project. So we're making a store. So we've made a home app. So this app will only focus on the home page, and any other pages to do with the home page. So maybe we can store like the about page here, or the contact us, but contact us could go in the user app. So we can call this whatever. So we create our own app. Inside migration, we have gone. We'll cover this now. Inside migrations, we've got another init.py. We don't need to worry about that. And then we've got another init.py there. The admin.py. So in Django we have a custom made admin panel, because with Django the good thing with it is you're given a lot of functionality out of the box without having to write much code. So you're given authentication, authorization out of the box. You're also given an admin panel out of the box, and you're given a user model. We'll cover all of those soon. So right now we have an admin.py file that, let's say, relates to the database. So this file relates to the database. We'll explain how and why. We've got the apps.py. We don't really touch this we don't really use. The models.py is really important, because this file talks to the database. This is the only way we can talk to the database, and this is through this file. Without this file, we won't be able to create any sort of database store information. Test.py is also an important file, but we won't be using any tests for this series. And views.py is how we link up the URLs with the views, and we create dynamic pages. So I guess that's episode 1 of the Django series. Hope you found this video helpful. Next episode we'll be working around with URLs and routing up a page. We'll also be working with more Python commands. So if you found this video, make sure to subscribe and like. Also comment down below if you got any questions or issues. That's all from me. Look out for the next video.